My dad is not really barking. My door is not really open. We all got to keep our marks in every glass of sharks, waiting for us to gulp them. My heart is not really partying. My lesson's not really over. If only she turns around, we could be back around. I would have loved to love her.
Oh shit, and free and whatnot. Oh wow.
Wow, you knew it already. Hello everyone, welcome to the Dida Show. Very special episode. I need to kind of like settle in because I have Ari Hoenig today. Amazing, maybe the best drummer
Where
in
is
the
he?
world.
Did he come in already? Where is he?
Yeah. Ari.
Hi everybody.
Yes.
Hi.
Hi.
Dida.
Thank you for coming. I'll tell everyone that like I'm a fan and also like have to kind of transition from being a student of yours to like being chill on my radio show, but it's not really happening.
Aren't you like you're gonna ask me the tough questions, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna
This is-
try to
I'm getting
get right
I'm
to
gonna get
it.
grilled here.
Yeah, I want to go that, but like I'm a little too much careful because I was a student and I feel like I have this like student-teacher distance that I'm gonna break slowly.
I think you will.
Yes?
I have
Okay.
confidence, yeah.
Perfect. How are you?
Doing good. Doing good.
Yeah?
Happy to be out here. Yeah.
Amazing. I'm so happy to have you.
Good.
I wrote some questions because like, I don't know, I thought how am I going to prepare to this
Yeah, gotta
interview?
be prepared a little bit, you know.
And I actually did some research. I called people that know you well and asked what is interesting about Ari.
Okay.
And
What did they
let's
say?
see what they say. Look at my little
Oh
list
yeah.
now, but I
Oh,
have
this is
some
gonna be
ideas.
fun.
A few people said to ask you about like the 90s and stuff.
The 1990s or the 18? Which one?
It sounds really general, but like they said, what did they say? And all of a sudden, someone said you spent some time in Turkey playing a month-long gig.
That is true. Who told you that?
Aaron Goldberg?
Oh, Aaron told you.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's because I was with him, actually. That's why he knows.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
What was the gig?
Well, we played at I did it a couple times. I think I was living there for about 3 months.
Yeah. Whoa.
Yeah, it was great. We played at a palace, and it wasn't a palace like a king lived there or something like that.
Yeah.
It was an old palace that was converted into a upscale shopping mall kind of, I
Yeah.
would say. But it was a jazz club and very upscale jazz club. It was
Wow.
really fun, actually.
And they did like month-long gigs?
Yeah, I think it was like a 5 or 6 week, kind of stint. Yeah,
Wow.
residency. Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah. It was really fun, actually.
Let's go back to like a more general thing. So I don't know if everyone that listens to the show know, but like you're really like a famous drummer in New York. You play at all the clubs. Wow.
I'm blushing.
Yeah, I'm watching. No, but also something that is cool about you that I think is different from other like musicians is that you have a very specific sound that I feel like if someone calls you to play on their gig or like on a record, they'll call you to play like your thing, which is kind of cool. And like I can even see like young drummers like copying you. How do you do that? Like how can you develop a sound? I don't know a lot of drummers, even the best ones that I can say that about them, that like they sound so distinct.
I just really my dream was to, for people to write their tunes and their charts, right? And then when it says, 2-feel or 4-feel,
Yeah.
I wanted this Hoenig kind of feel on the bridge, and then it goes
Yes.
to a double time swing on the,
Yeah.
No, thank you. I appreciate that.
But you know what I'm saying.
That. Yeah.
Were you ever someone called you and said like, can you play more like regular drums?
All right. So I'm gonna tell you a secret.
Yeah.
Okay. So look, I'm 51.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow,
there's your secret.
congratulations.
I'm 51.
Yeah.
When you're 51,
Yeah.
these motherfuckers are not calling you and be like, yeah, I'd like you to play like, you know why?
They know why they call you.
Not that they don't have that in your head.
Yeah.
They're just scared.
Right.
Because and by the way, somebody's writes on the chart like play like Jorge Rossi. I'll do my best to do it. I have no problem with that.
Sometimes someone will tell you try
and
to
honestly,
play.
this is how I learned to play, and like everybody else. So, if somebody's like, yeah, I want to, like a Brian Blade, kind of, look, that's great. I'm totally down to, to do my best thing with that, because that's how I learned. That's how people learn. That's fine.
Yeah.
But I think people are a little intimidated to actually say that to me because, again, it's like when you're 51, they're like, I'm not sure how he might not like that, because at one of every, 10 times you say that to somebody, they're like, well, they make some kind of offhand comment like, well, Jorge Rossi could do his thing, but, I'm going to just do my thing.
Right.
And then it becomes like a
Did
vibe
someone
or
ever
something,
vibe you like that?
No, I don't think so.
Wait.
Technical difficulties.
I am too close
Please
to
be
this.
patient.
Wait 1 second.
Stay tuned.
Oh my god.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Ari, I don't know what happened.
We had to take a commercial break.
That's right.
These things happen.
The show is sponsored by...
It's sponsored by Ari Hoenig, Patreon.
Oh, yeah.
Get serious about your practicing.
Yes.
And
Are you sponsored by any drum company?
Yeah, I am.
Really?
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I endorse Bosphorus.
Yes.
Which is a really nice cymbal company.
Okay, and
in
you
Istanbul,
only use theirs?
Actually.
We're
talking about Istanbul. Yeah.
That's right.
And Yamaha drums.
Yeah.
And Vader sticks, not Darth Vader.
Yeah.
But Vader with a T.
Yes.
I always remind myself of that.
Yeah.
And a company called Evans Heads. So like all these stuff. Yeah.
So you have to use their product?
Drum gear. No. I can if I want.
Okay, that's nice. I would like to be endorsed by a company.
Yeah.
How can I do? I can't believe I'm not endorsed by like Fender.
Or
right. Gibson.
Yeah, I mean Gibson or Gibson, Givson.
Gibson.
That's a good one, yeah. Gibson, yeah.
Okay, so you were telling me how to become like your own thing on the instrument. No, but seriously, like, did you ever think of trying to do that, or you're just being yourself and it ends up sounding like that?
Well, I wasn't exactly saying that. What I was saying is that when you get to be my age,
that no one
people
wants
people stop kind of asking you to like do I mean, when I was in college and I was playing a chart and this was okay, like Elveny 6/8 feel on this chart, right? And that's just very normal, that you play the thing. Now, I think I did a studio session and somebody wrote like Elveny, and they were like, Mr. Hoenig, is it okay that I say that? Elveny, I mean, I of course want you to be yourself, like with all respect, and I'm just like laughing because they're like, being kind of overly respectful,
Right.
And like, yeah, you can write Elveny feel. That's okay. That's a thing. That's fine.
Yeah.
I have no problem with that. Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Hoenig. So anyway, my point is that people are usually a little more timid, to say that to me. But
do you feel a little lonely?
You don't have to be next time.
Do you feel lonely that people like are scared of you?
Do I? What was the first word?
Do you feel a little lonely?
A little lonely?
Meaning like that, like, people respect you too much and like...
Right. Not really, because I don't think that many people respect me too much.
Really?
It's okay.
I would think yes.
I don't think I'm no, I don't feel lonely.
Right.
I'm surrounded by friends.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's okay.
Well, I see a lot that like people that are your students or something become like your bandmates.
That happens.
Is that like a natural like just thing that happened? It's because people usually that your students are very interested in what you're doing and they're like becoming very, develop this kind of language, and then it makes sense that you'll play together. I mean, I'm sure a lot of your students are not in your band.
I mean, yeah, probably kind of a small percentage of my students probably has realistically, been in my band. But but yeah, no, it definitely happens. And yeah, I think a lot of the teaching that I do in general is to talk about and teach the language that I use, the musical language that I use, and just to kind of give them an idea of how I think about things.
Yeah.
And so with that understanding, that is something that I look for people that I like to play with. It's one of the things that I look for. So yeah, it does make sense, to some degree. And it's also just people that I know, I mean, this is This is not uncommon, I think, for to happen just in general in the world that we're in.
Totally.
Yeah.
Another question too. Yeah. Are you happy with the way your life is, like your career is, and like I don't know, are there things you wish that would happen? Do you love do you feel it's a Do you understand the question?
I do understand the question. I think that's probably more about just me.
Like, do you think about these things?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Like, is there a thing you're dying to do, or would you wish to be like? I don't know.
Yeah, sure. I mean, yeah. This is, it's a bit of a difficult job, but yeah, there's a lot of things that I, have not been able to do.
Like what?
I've never played at the Village Vanguard.
How come that happened? That haven't happened. Should we talk to them?
Well, have I talked to them? Yeah.
No, should we talk to them and make it happen?
Yeah, I think we should make a personal call.
Yeah.
I think,
We have okay.
I mean, it's actually really difficult for me to be able to get out there and share my music with the world. I mean, records are one thing, and that's great, and I'm always really, really thankful for people out there that stream my music or listen to it in any way, and that's great. But just going somewhere and performing live, is just it feels like a fight, more
really.
Than, I would
the
assume,
whole process. Like you have the Smalls residency,
not Smalls, because Smalls it's more. It's where it's my home, right? More, and I think it's been, I'm not even sure how to count, how long that I've been playing there, but that's more of a home. I mean, I wouldn't say that I played there from the beginning, but it was close anyway. So not that, right? But still, I mean, I play there once a month, and that's right. No complaints there. I like it. I always enjoy it. Love the club and love the the audience. But I like to be able to to do other stuff, and I work on it sometimes. But it seems it's a fight to just to get the music out there every step. But yeah, I mean, in a way though, I am content just with. Just generally my life, not necessarily my career, right? But I am very content as far as where I'm at as a person right now. Yeah. And my day to day, I try to keep things balanced. I try to keep, not a lot of one thing, and that right. Just to try.
What are the things you're balancing?
Well, so many things, but just like for one, being home, being on the road, would be one thing. The amount that I teach versus do other things, right? All these kind of things. Like if I just did one thing for a long time and not other things, it would feel out of balance,
right? Do you still practice a lot?
I mean, these days actually I practice a lot of piano, which is what I've kind of been doing more.
Really?
Yeah, it's just like a little bit of a thing that I got into during COVID. And I also had a couple of shoulder surgeries. Wow. So it made it for practicing drums really actually difficult for me. Yeah. So I had to really stop practicing drums and only play drums like when I really needed to. Yeah. Because of my shoulder. Mm-hmm. And so now I'm at a point where if I practice drums for like an hour for a few days in a row, something's like I'm feeling I feel like wait a minute, hold on, I got to be careful with that. But and so then I started practicing piano a lot more and getting really into that, and I'm not sure if that's going to be able to last either, because there's a whole physical thing that goes along with that too.
Wow.
Really. So
maybe you have to sing.
Yeah. Sure. I just want to keep learning and keep growing, and I just want to be bad at things and then get a little bit better at them. Like I want to get better at things that I suck at, and it feels good to me to do that.
That's what is fun about seeing you play live, I feel like you still look like a kid who's like enjoying to play, you know? And I wonder how you keep like that inspiration all the time, just by like learning things you're not good at and becoming good at them.
Yeah, but also I think, having a thing like for music for me it's not about like performing a song as well as I can perform it. It's more about being in the moment and let's see what happens here in this version. And one of the things that I think really keeps me inspired is the people that I play with,
right?
And the people that I choose to play with, because they keep me in the moment, and keep me like engaged in the music. And I want to think that I do the same. Right. For them, and so that we're able to really converse on the bandstand, and that's what I just love about music. So it's something that it doesn't get old really to do that. It's kind of like maybe if you have a group of friends that you really like, and that you maybe go out with sometimes, and then you don't. If you really like talking, you really like their conversation, and it feels like it's going new places and stuff. Yeah, you enjoy it and you're inspired by it. That's definitely where I am. It's not playing any instrument or any music is not boring for me or old. Yeah.
And you don't find that there's things you can do like during the day that makes you like come even more excited to a gig or like more present or something?
Ooh, that's a good question. I mean, I think I think there probably are, yeah.
Like what would they be?
I mean, probably either listening to music or practicing.
Yeah.
I think those two things, they definitely put something in your head maybe, or depends. Sometimes not. Sometimes I feel the most inspirational, like the most inspired when I haven't heard music for a long time too.
Right.
And then just kind of create something from nothing.
Yeah.
So that can also really, really be nice as well. So it's a good question, but it's one of those questions
it's the thing that changes every day. Like you have to kind of like be your own doctor and give yourself the right medicine for like that.
Or be your own doctor and be like, well, let me try a little bit of this today.
Right.
And then the next day you're like, well, maybe today I'll try a little bit of this. You don't really know.
Do you ever consume something before the gig? I don't feel like you're someone who drinks or something.
I mean, not really. I drink once in a while. If I have like, if I'm generally no. Yeah. Not usually. But I've gone through different periods of, playing like, smoking joints and playing for, years. Yeah. And then just really consistently doing that. Yeah. And then not doing that. So I mean, I've tried, various things, but I don't know if it's, I don't know how much it really affects the music.
Yeah. Do you see yourself more as a sideman or a band leader?
I don't know. I mean, musically, I feel like if I'm not a band leader, then I have something that I want to contribute to the music that's that maybe is a little bit more than like an average sideman. Yeah. But at the same time, maybe as a band leader, like I don't want to contribute so much to the music that I'm controlling everything. Yeah. And so a little less than the average leader. I don't know. I kind of feel like I approach music the same way as a leader and as a sideman. Right. Maybe I don't really approach it the same way, because if I'm a sideman, I'm really being hired to do a job, and I'm doing the job. And that's the most important thing. But generally, people know that I'm going to be pretty hands-on with the music and stuff, like when it just comes down to playing. Yeah. And so I think that, generally they're kind of ready for that. Right. Like either they want that or they're prepared for that.
What we talked about.
Or they're scared of that.
Right.
But they're doing it anyway because they lost a bet or whatever. Yeah. So I don't know if I see myself as one more than the other. Yeah. Really.
That's what I thought.
Kind of the same. It's kind of the same for me.
Was there ever like a gig you were, like a band you were in that like taught you a lot?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So many bands.
Give me an example.
I learned
Like maybe even something that you wouldn't expect. Like, they played something a little different and like it made you.
Yeah, I don't know what you'd expect. I mean, I so many experiences in bands. I played with Shirley Scott Trio for a while when I was, I think, 20 or 21.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. And she was rehearsing. We were rehearsing one day, and she said to me, "If you can't hear me, you're playing too loud."
Wow.
It's very simple, but
Yeah.
poignant, very clear. Yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense. And then, and I feel like, when little bits of advice like that come from people that you really respect, they have meaning.
Yeah.
And
Give me more. It sounds good.
yeah, I'll give you more. Sure. So,
What bands were you in when you were like younger? Shirley Scott.
Oh, so many bands. I was in so many bands. But I learned. I mean, like, there's a band.
Yo.
Goodbye, J.D. Walter.
They brought us back. I don't know why they do it. Wait. I'm just shocked. Okay, that was a little wave and it went away. We're still recording.
Oh, good. All right. That's funny.
I'm just shocked.
I'm gonna call JD later. Man, you're never gonna guess what happened.
Yeah. Wow. I'm just shocked by this, but we are recording.
Good.
Okay, so you were telling me what bands you were playing with.
What bands? Yeah. I mean, I think I learned a lot from all the different bands that I played with. But I, at some point, I think I was playing a lot of straight ahead, and I wanted to play more groove music, and so, I mean, it was more just like learning, specifically, just how like. Just really studying how to play pocket, and not that I could really do much on top of that, or like a lot of frills, but like, but there's a certain couple years that I went into that, and then really just try to do that. And there was bands that I played with that really helped with that, like Jafar Barron. I remember playing with his band, and band called Jazz Heads, which I founded with Tim Motzer. Which is just like funk or acid jazz or whatever you want to call it, which is just kind of dancey. Music.
I remember Sam Yahel telling me that he, I think, played in Maceo Parker's band, and that like they would play like one song for like 45 minutes, and if it won't groove, like if you were playing in the band and like 3 minutes in you're like not grooving, he'll look at you and like do this, and you have to lay out for the rest of the song. And that's how he learned how to play like in a pocket.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I feel like we should learn how to vibe people in our bands like that so that stories will keep happening. I don't hear a lot of like young people do that.
I want to hear stories about you that you do.
I want to vibe people in my band sometimes.
Yeah, I mean...
I think it's important because that's what we remember after years.
That's definitely one way to do it. I mean, there might also be a way to get them to groove without just telling them to stop playing.
Right. But if you're live and it's like, come on, you're not grooving, get out.
Yeah. Yeah. What does he say? What did he say after?
I think that's how we learned.
But just like, could be anything, right?
Right, right.
I think you're playing a major 7 there and not a dominant.
Yeah.
Like, you were grooving, but you just weren't playing the right notes.
Oh, right.
And he was like, I thought I wasn't grooving the whole time.
Right.
Like, who knows?
Right.
There may be it depends on what if there's is there clarity there and what people are trying to talk, but yeah.
A memory just came to me. I think Gilad told me a long time ago that you two had like, let's practice for like 2 days in a row for like, I don't know, 12 hours a day.
Oh.
Like practice marathons.
Well.
Is that true?
I mean, Gilad had this idea of doing that. I don't think we actually ever did.
Ah, really?
But he did have an idea. Let's do this. And I think we talked about it, but I don't think we ever actually implemented that and did it.
Really?
Yeah.
But were you ever like unhealthily practicing, or like not unhealthily, but practicing like all the time?
Well, I mean, I think that, for me, practicing is not just working on your instrument.
Yeah.
Practicing is also listening to music and playing music and doing different like rhythmic exercises or coordination exercises.
Yeah.
Practicing could be, listening and playing and listening to live music and you know what I mean? Like, basically immersing yourself in music, right?
Yes.
So I wasn't one of these guys that was practicing 10 hours a day.
Yeah.
Not because I wasn't thinking about music 10 hours a day.
Right.
But more because I wasn't just practicing. I was doing other things as
right.
well. So, but yeah, there was a long period of time where I just did music all day. With those things, those kind of things. But as far as like practicing the drums, like no, I probably didn't practice more than like 5 hours a day. In general, that would have been probably kind of like around the top for me.
Right, that's a lot.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I heard you had what were you saying? Sorry.
I probably did. It's for a number of years, 4 years or so, I probably did 4 hours a day pretty consistently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good, but you don't miss that. Like you feel like you don't have to do it now, or you have the shoulder problem.
Oh, I mean,
like it's something at some age you can stop practicing all the time and you're still good.
So practicing is going to help you develop. It's going to help you develop new things and creative things.
Yeah.
So, without doing that, you can still be creative and you can still do new things, but not to like, if you practice, you can just further develop things.
Right.
That's pretty much what it is,
Yes.
But also physically too, there's a physical component to it. Right.
Yeah.
And so, stretching and, like people say warming up or like just being able to do the basics is important to the physical thing.
Yeah.
But honestly, for me, I was never much for like warming up or, it was more just like jumping into a thing, conversation, and then just doing it and feeling the music and playing. And the technique of it was always kind of secondary to me. And the musicality of it was always primary.
Yeah.
And I feel like the practicing didn't necessarily hurt the musicality part of it, at least not directly.
Yeah.
Maybe indirectly.
Yes.
A little bit. But the practicing would hurt more the technique of it.
Yeah.
So if that makes sense.
Yes.
Right. So
do you exercise a lot, like physically or at all?
Yeah. I actually not a lot. No,
What do you
I
do?
would definitely not say a lot, but I exercise, yeah.
Like what do you do?
Well, let's see. Today, I walked. I probably walked more than an hour today.
That's nice. I love walking.
Yesterday, I actually went to the gym yesterday, and I actually played basketball for probably 45 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah.
I heard you love basketball when I did my little research. Or sports.
Somebody told you that? You're kidding me.
Yeah. They said, ask him what are his interests aside from music.
Oh.
And then someone said, that you like baseball or basketball.
I like baseball. I mean, I sometimes wear my Phillies hat. So, I mean, I like sports, though.
You're very, like, a man. You like drums and, like, basketball. Yeah. Do you have, like, what do you talk about with your wife? You're married, right?
I'm married, yeah.
What do you talk about with your wife?
Oh, wow.
Do you have shared interests?
We have shared interests. Oh yeah, we have shared interests. Yeah, actually. Well, we both like we like comedy and we
That's
like
nice.
I mean, we have a couple kids, so
that's a
shared interests are a lot of that,
Yeah.
But yeah, we she likes guy stuff too, to some degree. Yeah, I mean, she likes sports and she likes similar things that I like. Yeah.
She comes to your shows or not really?
Yeah, well, occasionally. Yeah. We met though at Smalls.
Really?
Yeah.
How did you meet?
Just at at Smalls.
She was hanging at Smalls, just like
pretty much.
She loves music. Or a friend.
She just came with like a couple people that she knows, and she's definitely not like a jazz fan, or anything like that. But that's just where we met.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's nice.
Yeah,
and you have a daughter. I heard. Listen, I really went far here with my research, and I heard she has a beautiful name.
Oh,
that's I never heard before.
Lyric?
I have
2. Lyric is my older one. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
How old is she?
She's 12.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how did you come up with the name Lyric?
Actually, my wife first knew somebody with that name in college, and just liked the name, and I really liked the name. And, and that was that. Yeah.
That's gorgeous.
She always says to me, because I have this symbol line from Bosphorus.
Yeah.
And they made me a line, and they said, well, what do you want to call it? And I was like, I'll call it Lyric Series. That's a cool name. And so she's like, did you name me after the symbol?
Yeah.
She thinks I named her after the symbol.
Yeah.
But
what's the other daughter's name? I named the
symbol after her. The other one's named Alana.
Alana.
She's a very much more kind of straight.
Yeah. But that's nice too. Is she jealous of the other name?
I'm going to ask that. That's good.
Yeah. Like, did she want to be Tom Tom?
Did she want to be Tom Tom? Wow. Ride symbol.
Yeah.
Ride symbol. You finish your homework.
Yeah. Okay. Wait, I have another question.
Open fulcrum. French grip. Hey, French grip.
Yeah. How do you call it when you flip like when one hand is like this and the other like the jazz grip?
Traditional.
Yeah, traditional.
Or how about like buzz roll? Buzz for sure.
Yeah.
I'll just call her Buzz.
Buzz, that's nice.
Or actually, that would actually be a great name for a kid.
That's really nice.
How would
I guess
spell
some
that?
languages have that.
Do you have to spell it though? I kind of do. You kind of have to spell it.
How would you spell it?
I feel like you'd start with a J.
Yeah.
And end with a bunch of Z's.
Yeah. That's nice. Anyway. I have another question for you. How did you figure out that you can play a melody on drums?
Oh.
Like, did you get it from someone-ish?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, kind of. Yeah. I mean, so my biggest influence as far as drummers, right? My biggest influence, his name is Earl Harvin.
Yeah.
He's a drummer that was living in Dallas when I was going to school at UNT, which is University of North Texas.
Which you went to with J.D. Walter.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
J.D. is a lot older than me. He's completely, so much older than me. No, I didn't know J.D. at all.
So who was with you at Texas there?
Who was I in school with that you know?
Yeah. Because a lot of people went there, right? Like, who went there? I feel like it's like a famous, it was important school at the time or something.
It's a great program.
That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely would know people that went there. Nora Jones was there, for example.
Right.
I know you know who she is.
Yeah. Nora Jones. Kurt didn't go there, or yes?
No.
Okay, but no. I don't know why I'm connecting Kurt.
Maybe because he's from Philly.
Maybe. You played together a lot at the time?
We played together. Not in Philly, though. Not in Philly. More in New York.
Okay. So you're telling me about Earl, though?
Earl. I'm talking about Earl Harvin.
Yes.
So Earl Harvin was this drummer that just was tremendously influential for me. And I would go see him any opportunity that I had to do it, you know. But one of the things that really was very striking about his playing for me was that, you know, and he took a lot of solos, but he would play a lot of times the melody of the song.
Yeah.
In the solos. And I just thought it was the hippest thing that I'd ever heard.
Yeah.
And he would do it in a way that I wouldn't say that he would get the pitches out of the drums in the same way that I do it.
Yeah.
But he did it with the contour of the melody in mind.
Yeah.
So that, for example, the up and down motion of the melody.
Yeah.
And the phrasing.
Yeah.
Was so strong that the melodies just pop out with me, you know, to me.
Yeah.
And so it just became like a very profound statement.
Yeah.
And it hit me in a really strong way.
Was that like his thing? People that saw him were like, oh my God, we feel it, or it was less obvious? Because I feel like when you do it on a gig, it's like everyone takes a video and like, oh my God, we never heard this. Was the way he was doing it like...
I don't know. I mean, honestly, the way that I felt about it is when he did anything he did, I felt like that.
Right.
And it wasn't just that. There was a lot of things that he did that were very unique and very profound and genius,
Wow.
I mean, honestly.
Who did he play with?
Who did he play with?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I could go like mention some people that he played with, but I don't think it would be that effective. I think you'd really have to hear him in his own element. Mm-hmm. And he still does play, though. He lives in Berlin. Yeah.
And how did you like learn that from them? You just like went to see him all the time, or you took lessons with him?
All the time. Went to see him all the time. Yeah.
And was he teaching also, or?
I don't think so. Not really, but I did have like a lesson with him just because I would just beg him. Like, and he was just, he felt pity on me. So he invited me over, and I went and took a lesson, but it was a very informal type of lesson. That's just how he did things.
Yeah.
But he didn't just play jazz. I mean, he had a punk band. He played a lot of different kinds of music, and anyway, my point is that I got the idea to play melodies on the drums from him, and there was another person doing it too that I heard maybe a little bit after Earl, which was Jeff Hamilton. Mm-hmm. And Jeff Hamilton's a lot more known as a jazz drummer.
Yeah.
But then, I guess I started to do it just out of, oh, that's cool, let me try it, right? Mm-hmm. And so I learned this tune Confirmation. It was kind of the first song that I learned. Yeah. And I learned it in the way that I could get the contour out of the drums. Yeah. But then, like, later on, I kept doing it, and I started realizing that I could actually get the notes out of the drums, not just the contour.
Do you remember the moment you realized that you can do it?
Kind of, yeah. I kind of do. Yeah. I was like, whoa, it's kind of like you're digging in the garden, and then you find, like an ancient tunnel that's, like, leading to, like, a, like an ancient artifact that is like legendary. It's like a really exciting exploration.
At your house?
Yeah, I was practicing, and it was a summer. I was home from college over the summer, and I was practicing, and I had the kind of revelation that I could do it, and I don't really remember what song that I did it with, but I realized that, hey, like I can get a real chromatic scale, and I can play basically anything that I want to if I practice it.
And then you were like, oh my God, I'm going to practice it every day for a while until I get it?
I just started learning songs and learning tunes. That's mostly how I did it. And then later, I started trying to improvise. Yeah. And actually playing piano helped me with that as well. Right. So, it was really more about just learning songs. And then how I would tune the drums for a specific song or something like that. And because when I do it, I mean, I really am improvising when I do it too now. Like, so it's not like a perfected thing. Usually it's like either I get lucky and it's like, woo, or I don't. And it's like, oh, that's kind of cool. It could be a wide range of things,
Did everyone ever steal it from you? Like, do you see other people try to do it?
There's a bunch of people that can do it, that I've taught it to.
Yeah. So you teach it. You're like sharing is caring.
Oh, yeah. I teach it to lots of people. Yeah.
Okay. So you don't think like when you find something, you should like keep it to yourself?
Not really. I mean, it's the knowledge is for everybody. Yeah. I share everything. Like I would mention Patreon, but all my secrets are there. And not only that, but the video that I use for the melodic drumming is just called melodic drumming. Yeah. And I talk about the tuning and how I get the notes out of every drum. Yeah. All the specific technical things. I mean, I love sharing that stuff. It's fun. And I'm glad that people are interested, If you're interested in what I do, I'm very happy to talk about it,
Amazing. Yeah. Do you enjoy doing the Patreon thing?
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, I mean, I love being able to share things with people, and I love the feedback, questions, and comments.
That's amazing. I feel like you really grew a big community there.
It's a good community. Yeah, definitely.
How did you do it? You just one day started like put it on, and like people started, all students and people that are interested are joining?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I was working with I had assistant at the time. Her name is Vivian Arts.
Yeah.
And she just said, "Oh, we should sign you up for." Well, first she said, "Oh, we should put you on Instagram," and I was like, "What?" And I was like, "Well, I guess so. Okay, whatever."
Yeah.
And we should do Patreon too. And years later, I'm like,
Yeah.
all
So
right.
she was running the whole thing for you?
Yeah, basically, she
Yeah.
started it, and she said, "Oh, we got to make some videos." And
Yeah.
and so we made very short videos, and it's definitely they've gotten much more in depth and more
Yeah.
edited, and better and better.
Yeah. And now you still have an assistant, or you do it
I
yourself?
do. Yeah, George. Yeah, is my assistant.
I
now.
know George.
You know George.
Yeah, he's like a sweet
very sweet. Yeah,
guitar player from the new school.
exactly.
Yeah, he's so nice.
Yeah.
So what does he do for you? He just like puts the videos together or something?
He does everything. He films the things. He edits
Wow.
them. He does the PDFs. He
Wow.
does. Yeah. He's
A full-time
He's like my
job.
right hand and my half of my left hand.
Wow. So nice.
Yeah.
It's a full-time job.
It's a big job. It's a big job.
Yeah,
There's
and
a
it
lot.
helps you because it's like too much to do by yourself, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's something that I can have some help with.
Yeah,
It's better. Yeah, if I can.
for sure. Also, I think the interaction just makes it more fun. Instead
True.
of like
True.
dealing with like a bunch of files, editing yourself all day. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and the funny thing is when you see, people that come out, I mean, look at like Jacob Collier, for example.
Yeah.
And as great a musician as Jacob is,
Yeah.
he's an incredible video editor.
Right. Yeah.
Adam Neely, incredible video editor. Like,
Right.
this is a skill that, that it has become like a necessity
Right.
for people to be able to really share what they do.
Do you feel like you ever developed that skill?
No,
Have interest
absolutely
or no?
like not even a little bit. I mean, I could certainly,
Yeah.
but I've always had people help, with people,
Yeah.
assistants that have helped
Yeah.
me with it. But of course, with practice, I could do that. Sure.
Yeah, of course. I think it's just like whether it's really something you want to get to do more or not really. Maybe not.
Would I
really.
want to? Yeah, not like
Yeah.
I'm not dying to. Yeah.
Right.
I learned it over Christmas break a couple years ago. I was
Yeah.
I had COVID and I was kind of like locked in a room,
Yeah.
without any family. And I learned a video editing program and it was fine. I did
Yeah.
it and I can do it.
Yeah.
I was of course extremely slow and
Yeah.
not nearly as good as anybody that can really do it
Yeah.
well. But yeah, I know how to do it.
Yeah. Okay, I got you. Wait, I wanted to ask you something else.
Who else did you ask about me? You said you
Yeah.
called people.
It sounds like I did a big thing, but I haven't. Yesterday I was just at ornithology, and then I talked to some people like, wow, I have Ari coming tomorrow. Like, what should I talk to him about? So it was Aaron Goldberg, Claffy, who told me about Philly, and Aaron told me about Turkey.
All right.
And then who else did I talk to? Then today I called Yoav.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's who I played basketball with yesterday.
Yeah,
by the way.
really?
Yeah.
That's nice. So yeah, today I called Yoav, which was nice. He was like, oh, I really like that you're doing your research. And he's like, what else did it tell me? Let's see. It said that you've been playing piano and singing more.
Yeah.
You're also singing?
Yeah.
What do you sing?
Well, I told you JD was giving me some
right.
voice pointers.
But you like would sing a standard and play?
Yeah, sure. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool. Why would you do it at a gig or no?
Oh, yeah, I've done it.
Really?
A lot
Wow,
of
I have
gigs.
to hear it.
Yeah.
What's the standard you like to sing?
So many I do.
Give me one.
I Fall and Live Too Easily, Blame It on My Youth.
No, I'm dying to hear you sing a song.
Smile. Yeah.
Wow.
And a lot of my own songs too.
Really? You
yeah.
write songs with lyrics?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm shocked.
I have one on my last record. I sing a tune on my last record.
Should we play it?
Yeah, if you want. You can play
Yeah.
it.
Or you want to play the other song?
Up to you. I mean, we're talking about singing,
Let's
so go ahead.
do that.
I will say that
Yeah.
I'll just precede it by saying I'm not really a singer.
Yeah.
But I do feel like the human voice is it's a great kind of vehicle just for music making and emotion.
Yeah.
And and that's the way that I'm experiencing it.
Yeah.
More than like, I mean, I don't have like real singing technique,
right?
In the same way that people that are really practice it, and I wouldn't take it away.
You
from
don't have to explain it to me because honestly, my favorite singers are like non-singers.
Okay, well then,
I think it's all about.
Then you might like it.
Yeah, maybe I like it. Okay, what's the song name?
It's called For Tracy.
Who's Tracy?
For Tracy. That's my wife.
Oh wow! Okay, yeah. Thank God. Yeah. We wouldn't want it to be someone else. Okay. For Tracy, it's with Gadi, Lehavi, and Ben Tiberio.
It's actually, this one is with Gadi. It's just me and Gadi, actually.
Really? But it says Ben Tiberio. Okay, it's probably on the record.
The record is that, yeah.
But I also see a version with Nitai. Which one should they choose?
Do the one that's with Gadi.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, that's the one I sing on.
Okay, and then my next question, I know it's how do you know who to call for a certain project?
Oh.
Like, do you sit and think, wow, like, who do I feel like playing with? Or you kind of have an intuition? Sorry.
Okay, I'll think about that.
Think about
question.
it.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Swiftly you climb, ascending in time. And when we're apart, I'll follow my heart and keep coming back to you like a winding melody, with a twist and a turn, I'll always return. For when we're apart, I'll follow my heart and keep coming back to you.
Gorgeous stuff.
Thank you.
I love it.
There's I want to say that with Gadi we've had an idea to do a series of songs duo, and to actually make a record. And the record, as always for me, I have a concept and a title before the music, but the record is going to be called Drummer Sings Jazz.
Yeah. That's good. Drummer sings jazz with no drums.
Right.
Beautiful. You can also have Ari sings and plays. Yeah, that's the name of my first record. Dida sings and plays. Plays and sings.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's nice.
Okay. Drummer plays jazz.
Drummers.
Sings.
What did I say? Now I forgot it.
No, I forgot to. Drummers sing jazz. No.
Now I forgot it.
We'll have to rewind the episode. Okay, so you sit and write songs sometimes.
I'll go back and listen to what I just said before, and then I'll...
Okay, we'll go back to it. I love Gadi.
Drummer sings jazz.
Yeah, we were talking about how do you pick, because you're playing with, I mean, okay, sometimes you just have, this is my band for this time, and then you'll call them to all your gigs, or you get a gig and you think what band will fit this vibe?
Well, I have a trio.
Okay, so every time you have like, this is my trio of now.
I have a trio. We've been together for, I would guess, like 5 years, maybe, with Ben, Tiberio, and Gadi, Lehavi, which is, we have 2 records. And so basically, like, you know, if it's kind of my choice of the gig, like, I'll try to get that trio. That'll be kind of my go-to, what I want to do, right? But there's a lot of things that happen that I'm not able to do that.
Right.
And depending on the circumstances of where I am, it could be whatever, you know, things happen. So some places, they won't have a piano, or the people, maybe, the promoter got into a huge fight with, you know, Ben Tiberio years ago and doesn't want him on the gig. You know, I mean, it could be, I'm just making it up here, but like, I'm just saying there's always this kind of thing. So,
so then you'll call other people, but at the time you have like the band that you have.
I have a trio. I have like my group. Yeah.
So Nitai was like in the group before?
Yeah, well, Nitai and Barakat, we had a trio for a number of years as well. Yeah.
Now the show is over. Shit. We're still recording? Maybe. So Ari, I'm saying thank you to you. We'll finish with your song. And I guess now there's a new episode.